Yeah. Sorry. Predicate. Okay. Predicate is one functional interface. What functional interface means that we know it contains only one abstract method, a single abstract method. Okay, so it contains of one method. It contains of one method test. Predicate functional interface contains one single abstract method that is called as test function. What exactly it will do means it will do for some conditional checks. Okay, it will do some conditional checks and it will return off either true or false value. It will take up some argument. It will take up some argument and then can written off either true or false only always. Okay, either true or false only. It won't give any other types. Always it will check the condition whether a given condition is satisfied or not. Satisfied means true, else it will return as false. Now let's say we'll take up some example. Test predicate. Okay. Now write of main method. Okay, so let's predicate. Okay, see, predicate is a functional interface. It contains of only one. Leave it about other one. Those are implemented methods, default methods. So it is a one method. Test abstract. This abstract method. Test it is taking off some input parameter. Always it is going to return off some output as boolean type. Always it is going to return as some boolean type. Let's say we are write off some method. Let's to check off let's let's say I want to know whether the given number is greater than some thousand or not. Some any condition, guys. Any conditional logic you want to write it. Write off for that one function. You can write off directly on function. Boolean boolean test. Okay, give of some integer. Okay, some I value. So to check of that, to check normally for any to check any number is greater than 100 or not, whatever the number that I'm passing. So what we'll do, we'll write off some if condition, right? If of I greater than 100 or 1000, whatever that you want. Okay, conditions, right? Whatever that we want. Yeah, take any number. Okay. Now, so if it is there, then return of true value, return true, else else return false, else return false. Okay, is the function. Okay, now I will call this function. Now, how to call? Normally, this is the one function for test. So instead of this, we will write off lambda expression for this. We'll write off lambda expression for this means how exactly we are going to write. How exactly we are going to write. It is of test, right? Test of it is taking off one parameter. We no need to give off any function name, right? Now directly we'll give off I. Okay, greater than. If I value is greater than 100 means or 1000, then it is written true. I greater than 1000. That's it. I greater than 1000. It is going to return off predicate type. It is going to take off. So whichever that you are giving as a reference, so that function it will check it. Okay. Inside that whatever that is there, okay, integer, integer predicate p. Okay. Now, so inside predicate one function is there. What is that? What is that predicate function? Test function. Okay. If it is a single parameter, we can give either bracket or bracket not giving also, no issue. Okay. Now, what is the implementation that I am doing? I am checking of I greater than 1000 means return true, else return false. So from this, now we can call this pass off by passing of some value. So system dot out dot println of okay, p dot test of some 10,000. Okay, if it is condition is passing, then it will true return of true value. If condition is not passing, if condition is not passing, then simply it will return of false. Okay, depends on the value that we are passing. This is the lambda expression, anonymous function. This function we are calling by passing some of this predicate reference. By passing of through that predicate reference, we can call it. Okay, now, so not only for this guys, anything, not only for this one, for writing of any function also, any other function also. Let's say you are passing of some string length, you are passing of some string length. Let's say I have one more example also I have given here. So for writing of any conditional logic, for writing of any conditional logics, we can use of a predicate function. We can use of a predicate function. Let's take it of this also. What I am doing here, I'm writing my logic is yes equal. I'm passing some string. I'm passing. This can accept of any type, guys. This test function can accept of any type input. Okay, any type input accept, but return type must be boolean only. So before I'm passing as integer, now I'm passing as a string. So okay, now s dot length greater than 5. If it is there, return true. If it is greater than 5, this is my condition. Whatever the string that I'm passing, if it is greater than 5, if this condition is matching, return true, else it is false. This is my lambda expression for the predicate. So this, through this predicate function reference, I'm calling test up by passing any input. So it will check with this internal implementation of this anonymous function. If it is condition is satisfying, it will return of the true, otherwise it will return of false. See this one. So first one is true because it is a s dot length. String s is what is that? IBC techno. Is it greater than 5? The length is yes, it is greater than 5. So return true. IBC, it is greater than 5. No, it is false. Okay. Internally, normally guys, this condition also will use in mostly in Stream API. We'll use it in Stream API. Okay. Now here, this predicate internal it will use of Stream API. Most of the times we'll use Stream API. That is very important, guys. We'll see last topic, that one. Now, next, this is a predicate to write off any conditional logic, and this will always return off either true or false only. Okay. There are some other things there are some other things that can return any type. This is going to return always true or false. But I need of some other things that return of that return type must be of anything. It is based on my requirement. I want to change of. I want to change of the return type. Okay, for that there is something that is called functions are there. Okay, predicate is one function interface. Again, function is also a, again there is a function called that is also a one of the functional interface. Let's go and check what is a function. Okay, there is a function, functional interface. So it T means it is input type, guys. R means return type. What is going to return? And T means it is going to have input. It contains one method called apply. It is one method contains functional interface. So apply, there is one method is there. It will take one input parameter and whatever that you want to return, that can it can return that. Okay. Now let's go and check off some example. So I'll pass off. I will pass off some strings. I'll pass off some strings, and then I want to know of. I want to know of the length. Before what is there? I'm checking of condition by using the length, whatever the string that I'm passing. So whether the length of that is greater than 5 or not. So that is always it is going to either true or false. But whatever the string that I'm passing input, I want to know the length of that. I want to know the length of it. Then in that case, we can use a functional interface apply method on top of it. Okay, let's take first read it and then we'll go for some example. Functions are also exactly same as predicate. Okay, both are functional interface, except the difference is that functions can return any type of result. Okay, this function result apply method can return of any type of result, but function should return only one value. This value is going to return of, but function should return only one value, and that value can be of any type as per our requirement. Okay, one value it will return, but it can be of any type. To implement functions, so Oracle people introduced function interface in 1.8 version. For implementing of these functions, functional there is one function, functional interface is introduced. Okay, it is available in Java8 function package. It is available in see java.util.function. It is available in java.util.function package. And functional interface contains only one method, abstract method, that is apply method. Okay, it will take off an input argument, and it can return off one re- uh, return type also. Okay, functional interface, it can refer of lambda expression, that will see example. Okay, now let's copy paste it. Now predicate is already there. Yeah, it is. So what are the function apply is there? Okay, apply is taking off one input parameter and some output also, whatever that you want, it is of this one. So functional return type, whatever that lambda expression that we are doing, right? So that functional interface, it is taking off two input parameters. This is of input type and this is of output type. So I'm expecting for apply function, I'll pass off string value. Okay, for apply function, I'll pass off this string value. Okay, and this apply function will return off this integer type. Okay, now yes of yes dot length. Okay, string s is there, so inside functional interface, okay, no need to pass off this one, and it is of one input, that what I'm, 1 second, it is of input. Okay, with the bracket or without bracket, and I'm giving of some length, s dot length. So internally this will call off apply. Who will call functional interface? Apply method will call this one. This is the implementation for that anonymous function. So whichever you are giving here, so internally compiler will check, it will run that implementation method anonymous function for that method which is available in that functional interface. Now this is the reference through this. So function dot apply of, if I'm passing any value, so internally it will call this apply function, it will call off this implementation part. Okay, what it will do for this, whatever the string that we are passing, okay, input type, it will calculate the length and it will return that integer type. Now let's see for all these things. The first string is of length is 17, it is of 8, it is of 18. Okay, so two things, guys. The functional interface also, function is also functional interface, predicate is also functional interface. But the difference between these two is, predicate always will return true or false. Okay, but function, internally function will take off any some input, and return type can be of dynamic. Whichever the return type that you want, we can return that. Okay. Now, let's see if any other difference is there. We'll see that. Okay. To implement of conditional checks, we should go for predicate functional interface. To perform some certain operation and return of some result, then we should go for a function interface. Okay. So after doing of some calculation, I'm expecting of some result from the calculation also. In that case, instead of a predicate, we should go for function. Okay. Now predicate take only one parameter, which represents input type parameter, predicate of t. Predicate of t is always, it is going to take off input type. Okay, return type is always boolean. Next, function interface take two parameters. Okay, function interface take of two parameters. The first one will call it as input parameter. Second one is representing as a return type of the function. Okay, now predicate contains a test method and function interface contains apply method. Okay, test and apply. Next, predicate can return always boolean, function return for any value. These are differences. Okay, there is no much thing here. Now, next next go to method or constructor references by using double colon operator, or method references or constructor references will call it as a constructor reference or method reference, or will call it as a double colon operator. How exactly we are going to use of how exactly we can use of method reference or constructor reference internally lambda we can utilize it. Okay, now let's see. First point, functional interface method can be mapped to our own specific method. Okay, normally functional interface contains one method, right? Functional interface contain one method. If I want to specify, if I want to whenever you are calling of a functional interface method, I want to execute of my own method, I want to execute of our own specific method that we can be achieved by using of method reference or double colon operator, or we'll call it as a method reference. This one, how exactly that we'll see. Our specific method can be either static method or instance method. Okay, and functional interface method and our specific method should have same argument type, same argument types, except that remaining are return type, method name, modifiers are not required to match. Okay, what all things that is required to match means, let's see. We'll write off some example. Next, go to the document. Now let's go and see this point. I'll explain after some time. Okay, last point. So let's take off this example. Test runnable lambda. Test runnable lambda. uh, Test runnable lambda. Yeah, so normally what we are doing, if you are implementing any runnable interface, runnable is a functional interface. If you are implementing runnable interface, normally what we will do, we will write off we will write the run method like this. So internally run method will be called by thread. Run method will be called by, let's one second, if you want, that is there. Let's comment of this part for time being, and create of thread a equal to new thread a. Okay, now new thread a, right? Open second. Thread a class implements its own method. Let's write off its own class. Class sorry, thread a. Now, oh, it is implementing of runnable interface, right? We need to pass this one inside thread. Inside thread, we need to pass. Now let's remove this on it of this one. So what we need to do is first we need to create of thread class. Sorry, thread t1 equal to new thread 1 thread of pass of t, pass of t. Okay, or what happened? Thread a control z. Yeah, pass of this one. Now pass this thread 1 sorry, thread t1 equal to new thread pass off by passing t value. Okay, t dot start. Okay, sorry, t1 dot start. T1 dot start. So internally it is calling of this run method. internally it will call of that run method. Now let's that we know. This is a known thing, right? So now if I am passing, if I am stopping this, if I am stop it. Now what I am doing, so I am passing of some runnable object directly. I am passing some runnable object directly. Even in this case also, in this case, what I am doing, runnable or equal to, it is of run method, guys. It won't take any parameter. I am calling of run method one line and then open bracket and close bracket. Even this is also not required. It is a, because of it is a single line. Because of it is single line, no need to pass that open bracket and close bracket. In this case also, it will run off that run method internally. Okay. Now what I want to do, instead of running of this run method, instead of calling this run method, it is calling run method, right? Instead of that, I want to write off. I want to call my own method. I want to call my own method. Let's say let's say write up some void, write up some static method, static void m1 method, static void m1 method system.out.println of okay, m1 static static method, okay, static method, one static method in runnable class in. So whenever I am calling of this run method, thread is starting, I want to call of my own method. It's not a run method, right? It's not a run method. If I want to call up this method whenever thread is starting internally, then in this case I can replace this code with I can replace this code with write off this one double colon write off m1, write off m1, that's it, right? So whenever start method is calling internally, whenever start method is calling internally, it will call off m1 method instead of this one. Now let's see. See, it is calling instead of run method. So we can call our own method. This point, one point I told you. Okay. There is one method. Functional interface method. Our specific method should have same arguments. Okay. And except return type, except that parameters. Don't know those methods. Both the methods, either m1 method or run method, both are not taking off any argument. Okay. Now functional interface can refer lambda expression, right? That we know that this functional interface is representing some lambda expression. This one, right? So the functional interface can also refer method reference also. So the result of this one I'm storing in functional interface. Even I can write off this one or method reference, both can be refer of the functional interface. That's what this meant. Hence, lambda expression can be replaced with method reference. Lambda expression can be replaced with method reference also. Okay, that's why hence method reference is the alternative syntax to the lambda expression. Okay, so instead of calling of that lambda expression, if you want to call of your own method, then by using of method references, we can call of that one. Okay, that's what this example reference y m1 method. So colon m1 colon of m1 method. So it is of method reference. Okay, now next. Either it can be static method or non-static method. Non-static method means we need to pass off object colon that method. We need to call off object colon of that method. Now let's take it off. One more example, if anything is there. Yeah. In the above example, runnable interface, run method referring the test method reference class of static method m1. Right? Now I'll take off one more example. One more example, what is the test method reference? Test method reference. As part of this, I have taken one functional interface. Okay, I have written one functional interface, it is containing of one method with one parameter. Right or not? I'm taking of one method with one parameter. So now I have written of a different method also. Whenever through functional interface I am calling of this method, I want to execute of this method. Whenever if I am calling through functional interface, through functional interface reference, if I am calling of m1 method, I want to call of this class m2 method. This class non-static method. Now let's see. Before that, for that now what I'm doing, so I'm calling of this is the m1 method lambda expression. I'm calling lambda expression. I'm creating for interface reference. See intf, if this is a functional interface, through this f I'm calling of m1 method. Now let's see m1 method. So m1 method is called from lambda expression. Through the m1 method is called from lambda expression. Now I want to call off this m1 method by using of this m2 method. By using of this m2 method, how exactly we can call means. Okay. Now, so I want to call up this one. First, create of this is a non-static method. Create object of that class test method reference and t colon colon m2. T colon m2 is the method non-static method reference, guys. This one, okay? T colon call m2 method. It is of some lambda. It is a method reference like this one. Okay. Now this I am assigning to this functional interface. Functional interface I1 I am calling. I am giving I1 interface reference. Now through this I1 reference, I can call off the method which is available in m1 method. Okay. Now for this the implementation is for this m1 method, the implementation what we are passing t colon m2. This method will execute. If I am calling internally the functional interface m1 is calling, it will call off this method. Now let's see. Either it can refer functional interface m2 method called from method reference. This one is calling. Okay, so that means that lambda expression can refer lambda expression can refer either, sorry, functional interface can refer either, functional interface can refer either lambda expression or method reference. Anything can be referred, both can be. It is an alternative syntax for functional interface. Now, in the above example, function interface method 1 is referred using test method reference of m2. Even though if I am calling m1 method, even though if I am calling m1 method of in functional interface intf, internally it is calling of m2 method of test method reference class. Okay. Now, the main advantage of method reference is we can use already existing code to implement of functional interface. Why do we need functional method references means? So let's say somewhere the functional interface is there. Through that, I want to utilize of already existing code to refer that functional interface. In that case, that method references can be reutilized for calling through functional interface references. Okay. Next, so still now we are seeing of methods, right? By using either class colon method name or object colon method name. Now we are going to see of constructor reference. Till now we have seen method reference. Now we are going to see of constructor reference. Now see that it is of this is of one class. It is of a new means it is going to create object of a sample class that I am assigning to interface reference intf interface intf1 some interface functional interface. Okay. Now we'll see one example. We'll see. So I have created one class. I created one class. I created a one constructor also. It is taking off one parameter and it is a some private variable is there. And I have created of one interface. It contains of one method. What is that? Get method is there. Okay. So whenever I am calling of get method, create object of sample class. Create a object of a sample class. How exactly that we can achieve that? Now let's see. Now, okay. Now, what is this class? Constructor reference. Constructor reference. Yeah, this one. So first what I am doing, this is of a lambda expression. Okay, this way or sample colon new. This is of through constructor reference. This is of directly lambda expression, creating of object of a sample class by using lambda expression, this one. Okay, now this is of lambda expression. What I am doing, this function get method is the right. Get method is taking off one parameter string yes. Okay. So internally, I'm providing of what is the implementation for this get method is just a simply create of object of sample class. New sample of there is one parameter is constructor of sample class. This I am calling by passing of some value whichever I am passing. It will go as a input. Okay. Now so that intf1 is having one method called get method. I am calling of this through this reference. I am calling of get method by passing of some value. Now let's see. Internally, it should call off this constructor also, guys. Let's see. Constructor executed from lambda expression. Constructor is executed from lambda expression. Okay. Now instead of this, okay, instead of this directly we can call off this constructor also through this reference. Now let's see the difference. So in this case, I have used of lambda expression, right? So internally, whenever I am calling of get method, this lambda expression is calling, right? Now whenever if I am calling of get method, I want to execute of direct constructor of sample class. So instead of doing like this, sample colon new means it is of new sample, it is of new sample of that one, whatever the constructor that is going to refer, it is referring of constructor. Okay, it is class colon new means it is a constructor reference. Okay, it is going to return of so find function interface reference. So this function interface reference I am calling of get method by passing of some value, string value. Let's see. Constructor, again same constructor is executed, but from where? From constructor reference. Through this constructor reference, not from lambda expression. Through constructor reference only it is executed that lambda, that is function interface method is called that this constructor directly. So that means constructor reference using that lambda function interface reference, we are calling of internally to the constructor reference. Internally it is pointing that. Okay, either by using of we can call off this get method by using either by using lambda expression or by using of either method reference or constructor references. Internally it will point that. Okay, now next go to now stream API. So this is the main concept. This is the main concept that we should understood. So all that whatever that predicate function, everything that will be used inside this stream API only internally. Okay. Now what is the use of streams first? What is the use of streams means? Now normally collections will be used to store the data. Right, collections can be used to store the data, group of elements we can store by using of collections. Okay, now if you want to do of some operations, okay, if you want to do some operations or by doing of some process of all the collection data, then in that case we will you go for a stream API. Collections are used to store the data. Streams are used to process the data. Streams are used to process the data. Okay. Now, to process the data of collection, compulsory we need of one object that is called a stream object that we can get by using of a method stream method that they have added in the collection interface from 1.8 onwards. Okay, they have added one. Where is that? Let's take off one any example. Okay, just simply take it. So go of some collection class list collection. So there is a method called stream API stream method. So this will return the stream of stream. This will return stream of elements. From this method, on top of this method only we can use of all the methods. On top of first we need to call of any collection or array. First we need to call stream method to return of stream. Okay, to process the data. Now next, so how to get off that default stream, this is of the method that is added in the collection. Okay, now so how to get off the stream object means, let's say c is a collection, c dot stream, it will return of stream object. Okay, it will return of stream object. Stream is a interface present in java.util.stream API. Once we got the stream API, by using that we can process object of collection. So directly we can't process. Compulsory we need to get off stream by calling the stream method. Okay, now let's go and take off some examples. I'll explain some more these things. What is intermediate operations? What is terminal operations? Intermediate operations means, let's say 100 elements is there. So to filter off my data out of 100 based on my requirement, so it will at the end it is going to call it return only 50 elements just as out of 100. So in between we are doing of some operations to filter the data, right? So those intermediate functions that will call to filter our actual result before going to return of end result. Okay, intermediate methods, whatever the methods that will be used to filter the data, those functions will call it as a intermediate operations. Okay, and the terminal operations means, at the end before going to result. Okay, at the end before just returning the result, it will call us some methods. Those methods will called as a terminal methods. Those methods will called as a terminal methods. Let's see some methods also. Okay, so let's say for example, I have 1,000 employees is there. Just assume. So out of 1,000 employees, I want to know of in particular department how many number of elements, how many number of employees are there means. First you want to out of 1,000, let's say 20 departments is there. Okay, in the company. So out of 20, I want to know of development department how many number of people is there. So out of that first filtration, what we need to do development, right? After that, next deployment, next filtration, what we will do? We will count of the number of employees. So whatever that filtration that you are doing for the development, will call of some method, right? That will call it as a intermediate function. Okay. Now at the end, you will going to call out at the end, you are going to call of some methods. End result is what? Count of number of employees in the development department. Then development filtering of development department is intermediate operation. Okay, filter method. And to count of the employees of the department, will call of terminal method. That is the end result. We'll see some examples also, guys. No worry. Now, so there are some examples of intermediate methods are map method, filter method, district method, sorted, limit, skip. We'll see some example for these intermediate methods. Same way, the terminal methods. Same way, the terminal methods are for each, to array, collect, min, max, count, any match, all match, none match. So these are some terminal methods. These are some terminal methods means, before going to return the result, these methods will one of the method will be called. Okay. Now we'll see of some examples. We'll see of some examples. what I am going to do? Stream test first. Go to stream test. What I am doing first? I am going to return off. I am going to returning off. Just I am created one collection. Okay. R list is one collection, right? I have added off some 10 elements. Just I am printing it. Okay. Let's do of control X. Okay. After doing of this one, let's say you want to do of only, if you want to do only even numbers or odd numbers, just assume out of that. What we need to write off our own logic, right? We need to write off our own logic. Now, let's for that what we need to do. I want to get off only uh, some new or list. What is the type? Integer. Okay, it is of I2. Okay, store all the even numbers or odd numbers based on our criteria. Array list of. Now I want to only from this I will calculate and then I will create add of a new one. Okay, if for loop, right? For each I1, just I1 of so each will take it I1, right? It is of L1. Sorry, it is of L1 at to L2. Better, right? Not I1. So now each value I am taking and then I am checking if condition is passing. If value value divided by divided by 2 equal to 0 means then it is a even number, right? Then if it is there, then add those values inside this collection dot add of value, right? Now at the end, just print of system dot out dot println L2 values. Okay, now print L2. First print of first print. First print of L1 values, okay, and next print of L2. Next print of what happened? Where it is? Oh, it is there in inside for loop, not here. Just write outside of for each. Control D. Right outside of for loop. Okay. Now let's see. See 0468 246 810. So only even number, only odd numbers is printing. So but same thing we can achieve by using a lambda expression. Okay, same thing that we can achieve using a lambda expression. Okay, using lambda expression, we'll see that. What we can do, directly the data is there L1. Okay, L1 dot first we need to call off stream function. First we will call off stream function to return the stream. To process the data we need a stream object. That object we can get by using of stream method. Call of stream method dot, what you want to do, you want to filter some logic, right? Filter. Okay, so see that guys, filter is taking predicate. Okay, see, filter is taking of predicate object. So what exactly predicate means? It is a test condition, right? What is my test condition? Okay, what is my test condition? Open. It is taking of one input value, right? Arrow. Okay, test function will take one input value. Now I divided by 2 equal to 0. I divide by equal to 0. Close it. Okay. It will do of some function. It will check all the values. Okay. Dot. Okay. Dot. 1 second. What happened? This one, where is this? Yes, this only. Dot. Collect. Okay, I want to collect after filter. This is doing a filtration of all the values out of this L1. It is taking one by one. If it is, this condition is matching, return true, and then whichever is matching, return true. I want to collect off all those things. Okay, collect off. Collect is one of the terminal method. Collect is one of the terminal method. Dot collect of. There is one more collectors class is there. Collectors. Okay. Collectors dot to list. Whichever condition is matched in this one predicate, return those list. Okay. Save it. L3. Simply now this one. System not out that print enough. L3 values. Okay, L3 values. L3. I'll shift F. Print it. So even both are having, L2 is also having same, L3 is also having. So instead of writing of these many lines, so I'm writing that in a single line. Instead of writing 4 lines of code, I'm writing in single line by using of lambda expression. Okay, like that. Let's go and see of all the intermediate and terminal methods. Intermediate and terminal methods. Now let's take it off. One more example. Go to the document. This is a filter condition, guys. Filter, one of the intermediate method. Okay. Now next, distinct and for each. Distinct and for each functions. Distinct and go to up. Distinct and distinct and for each functions. Okay. So I want to, let's say I have some 20 elements is there. I want to say there are some duplicates also. Out of that I want to get only unique elements, and then I treat the data. Unique elements, and I treat the data directly in the single line. I want to do in a single line both. I don't want to write off system.out.println in one more line also. I want to write even this also in the single line. Okay. Then how to achieve that? Now let's take it off one more example. Distinct example. Okay. So in this, what I am doing, I have created one R list. It is taking of some duplicates also. Johnson is there, 2 times is there. Okay. And Jaya is also 2 times is coming. I've taken off one list of data, and out of this I want to get off. I want to know distinct data. I want to know distinct data. Now go little bit up. So first what we need to do? We need to call off. We need to call off. First, what is that? Distinct, right? System dot out dot names dot stream. First, we need to call on collection. We need to call off a stream function, and then if you want to get off only distinct values, right? Call off distinct function. There is a function in the stream distinct to filter off only the unique values. To filter off unique values, and if you want to know the count of that, just call on top of that, count it. Okay, you can write this directly in the system.out.println and write it here. It will give off count. Okay, COU count is, just write it. Okay, stream function is compulsory, guys. Okay, see, count is giving. Okay, now let's remove these things. Okay, now what I am doing now, next, if I want to do of for each, if I want to do, now we are getting only count, right? Now whichever that is giving count, I want to, instead of to just print what is those values. Okay. Now names dot what is that, stream function dot distinct distinct dot. So after that I want to collect it. I want to collect that, and or else directly we can call off for each. Else we can call off for each system dot out colon print ln print ln print ln. That's it. Now see, it will print. Now this is going to give off count. What is the distinct values count? It will print in the single line. Okay, it will find distinct, and then it will print also all. See, It is printing of in a single line. It is finding of distinct elements, and then it is printing both in a single line. Okay. Now let's say I want to do of some sorting order. I want to do of some sorting order. Now let's say now for natural sorting order, for natural sorting order is different. For customized sorting order is different. Natural sorting order means by default names dot stream. First we need to call of stream API, and you want distinct values, right? Call of distinct dot. There is a method called sorted. Okay, it will sort the data by default ascending order. It will sort it by default. The data will be sorted in ascending order. Now you want to know of all those names, then collect of okay collectors collectors dot to list. Okay, it will return that. It is returning of the distinct values. Okay, that too in sorting order. That too in sorting order, guys. System dot out dot println enough. ASEN ascending something ascending or order, right of next. This is of ascend. Let's ASEN ascending order. Okay. ASCN. Okay. Ascending order data. Now let's see Jaya, John, Mahesh, Ram, Vishnu. Remove duplicates and it is sorted. Now I want to sort the data in descending order. I want to Vishnu should come as first. Then in that case, we'll go for customized sorting order. Then we should go for customized sorting order. How can we do that? Means names dot stream dot distinct. I want of anyhow distinct. Now sorted of one more comparator. Say it is a comparator means our own compare. So we are doing of customization sorting order. Okay. Then we will go for second one instead of default one. Go for some customization. What is that customization? Means let's take it. If we will take two parameters, right? It has some method compare method. It will take off two arguments, right? So now take off two arguments. What is that? N1 comma N2. Name 1 and name 2. Okay. Now arrow N1 dot compare to of N1 dot compare to of N2 means it will give in default sorting order. Means ascending order. Right. Now collect dot collectors dot to list. Okay. Now write of DSCN descending order. Okay, just assume descending order system dot out dot println of descending order data is now it will give in now let's see normally it will give in now ascending order only, guys, don't worry, both are giving in same order, right? Now you need to change it to either minus. Okay, you need to change it to give in the reverse order. Now it will give in the reverse order. Okay, or give as n2 dot compared to of n1. This also will give as in the reverse order. See, this also will give in descending order. Okay, this is what distinct and sorting. Distinct and sorting. Next, the methods are map method filter distinct limit and skip. Limit and skip, and here for each is done to array reduce collect. So collect is done min max count. Okay, now let's go to some other example. min max and count. Let's go for a min max example and then we'll understood that. And before that we'll see of skip functions is also there, right? Skip also is there, right? Now let's here only write of names dot, okay, names dot stream dot stream dot distinct, distinct. So first function we'll see limit. Okay, out of this, okay, out of this, so how many elements I'm getting? I want to get off only two elements. I want to limit it. Even though 10 elements is coming after a distinct, I want to get off only three elements. Just assume I want to get off only three elements. Then in that case, it filter will filter off only three elements instead of giving off. In this case, one second. In this case, how many it is giving? Five data is coming, right? Five members data is coming. So it is ascending order. Let's take it off. Instead of five, I want only three elements I want to get. Don't want all five elements. Then in that case, limit of three. So out of the result, I'm restricting the result. I am restricting the result. Dot to list. So now it will give off only even the how many number of result is there, but out of that only sorry guys, out of that I'm getting only three elements I want. Then in that case we can use of a limit function to restrict the data which is returning. Okay, now let's see, it is giving of only three things. List so I'm not doing of sorting, right? Yes, so do of some default sort. Now see, out of that, Mahesh, John, Jaya, Johnson, and Mahesh only coming. Ram and Vishnu is excluding. Ram and 2 is excluding. Okay. Now, this is for limiting the records. Let's say if you want to skip the elements, if you want to skip it. Now, there is a method called skip. Now, stream dot sort dot. Dot skip. Okay, skip up how many you want to. I want to skip off two. I want to skip off collectors dot COLLE collectors dot to list. Okay, now this will skip off two elements. Okay, this will skip first, this will limit the records how many you want. This will skip the number of records which you want in the first. Okay, system.out.println of skip. Okay, now let's see. See how many it is showing now. First two, Jaya and Johnson, both are skipping. Only Mahesh, Ram, Vishnu only coming. Remaining is not showing. Right? So this is for skipping. This is for limiting how many number of records you want. Okay. Now, so is it clear, guys? There are still some more functions. Let's see them. Min and finding of min and max values. Go ahead, guys. If any doubt is there, I'll repeat it that. I'll repeat that part if any doubt is there. Else, let's continue that functions which are pending. Okay, min and max. If I want to store, if I want to get off min and max functions, min and max functions, then directly there are some methods is available to get off that. Let's see what is the example min and max function. Or this, yeah, this one. So I've taken off some numbers. Okay, out of that I want to know of min number and max number. Okay, directly up to stream is minimum thing that we need to call, guys. List dot stream for processing of data, so it will return off stream of stream. Okay, now out of that directly you can call off min directly, call min function, and you can usually pass off two parameters. You can pass off it is of compare. There is a compare method, compare two method is there, right? It will do of that. So I1 comma I2 I am passing, and I1 minus I2. These are two parameters I am passing, and I am doing of I1 minus I2. If it is returning of 1 means big value internally, it will calculate of some calculation and it will find it. Now let's only first function, right? So it will return off some optional. So from this optional we need to get that value. Okay, by using a get method directly it won't return it. So we need to get directly, even if you're printing also it is fine, but from this there is one method, get method is there, through that we can get that value. Even directly we can call also that value. See, even on top of this we can call, okay, get method. Instead of that, then in this case, directly it will return that value. We can write this function directly in system.out.println also. What I am doing, so list dot stream of min value out of all values, calculate it, okay, min value, and then give that value. If you want to max value, then directly max function. The only changing is min and max functions only. Okay, this is one way. This is one way, and other way is then other way is also directly. Now next, one by one we will comment, and then otherwise the output is confusing. Eh, now what happened? Now next, so arrays data. So if you are passing off, even still now we are taking off collection. Till now we are taking off collection. Even I want to convert that array to stream. So arrays dot, there is a method stream. So it will take off array values, and then internally it will return off stream object. Internally it will return off, even you can call off collection dot stream. Directly collection dot stream is a normal method. So arrays dot stream, it will take off some input also. It will take off some input of data. On top of that, if we are calling directly min method also, it will give or get as long. So whatever the type that is here, you need to call the method appropriately. If it is an integer, get as int. If it is a long, get as long. That value it will return min value. Okay. Now let's, for max also, this is of another way, guys. Another approach to find of min and max through collection, through arrays, both. Okay, min and max value. Okay, this is the one. Just comment it. Now, even if it is a double type, then get as double. This function is everything is same, but the calling of method is get as double. Okay, so depends on for any primitive type, the respective methods are available. Okay. Now next, I've taken off some list of integers. Okay. Now I want to find off distinct stream dot distinct of count. Okay, it will give count already. We have seen, and limit also that we have seen already. Skip also we have seen. Both already we have seen in the last example. Okay, limit is 2 out of 10 records. If you want to get only 4 records, okay, in the result, then you can use of limit. To skip off, how many number of elements you want to remove, not to remove, skip it, I don't want in the result, then that count we can give as here. Okay, then that many number of elements it will be escaped, skipped from the result. Okay, next, next, limit and skip already we have seen. Map function, next is map. So map function, what it will do means, so it is doing of transformation, it is doing of some transformation. Let's say I have some type of data is there. I want to convert all this to capital letter. I want to convert all this to capital letter, or I want to convert into some other form, transforming to some other form. Okay, then in that case we can use of map function. Okay, internally it will use of method reference. Internally it will use of method reference to converting of that. Now let's take it off. Map example, go to map example. So I've taken off some list of data. So everything stream means everything is on top of collections only, guys. We'll perform all this terminal and intermediate APIs will be called on top of collection. We need first collection. Okay, that's the default one. Let's take off some collection object. So I'm calling what I'm doing. So names dot stream is common to get a stream object. On top of that map, I want to convert this all data into some other map, some other form. Map itself means transforming to different form. Okay, so string colon colon to uppercase. What it will do, in the string class there is a method called to uppercase. Whatever that value is there in this list, okay, all convert into uppercase and return that list. It is of, it will give all the uppercase. It's giving of all. So if you want to do in a single line, if you want to do in a single line, after this instead of collecting it, you can print it directly also. Dot for each. Okay, system dot out dot write this part. I think it will print in single line, it will convert and then it will print it. See this. If you want lowercase, two lowercase, okay, font lowercase, you can print off all will be coming in lowercase. So whatever the data that is there, it is converting into different form. Okay, it will converting into different form. That's what map function, guys. Next, terminal operations. Next is terminal operations. Out of terminal operations, so for each is already we are seeing, just now we are seeing for iterating of data. Now next, finding and matching operations. Finding and matching operations, what exactly it will do means, so let's say some list is there, some list of data is there. So whether it is giving of any match means at least one element is satisfying the condition or not. At least one element is satisfying our condition or not. If it is satisfying any one of the element, then it will return off true. Any match, the name itself is saying any one match is also I didn't. Any one match is also condition is pass, then return true. Okay, all match, all elements if it is matching the condition, then only return true. Okay, this method returns true if all elements of the stream matches with the given predicate means it's a condition. Okay, else return false. None match, if none of the element is matched the condition. If this method returns true only if all elements of the stream does not match the given predicate. If none of the condition is satisfying, then only it will return true, none match. Find first. Okay. So if you want to get off the first element, if you want to get off first element, then we can use of find first. Okay. Find any. So let's say I want to, if the condition is passing, if any element is there in that return in the result, then give at least any element which is in the result. Find any means, so it will give one element. So there is no guarantee, like always it will give this find any method give result, give same result. There is no guarantee that. Okay. Now let's see and some examples. Find match and find match example. Now this is the first map conversion that we have already seen. This is of no need. Next, any match. Okay, first we'll see of any match. Okay. Differentiating lines. Any match, all match, none match. Okay. Let's see this one first. Next, what is that? Let's see. Yeah, first what I'm doing, out of this one, I'm writing up some predicate. Predicate means it is a condition, guys. What I am doing, names dot stream, this is common. So any match, there is a method called any match. Inside that I'm writing up some condition. String name, okay, name dot length equal to 3. Okay, for any of the data in the collection, in the names collection. So in the all collection is the right names. So out of this, for any of the name, three letters are there. For any, at least one, any one element contains exact the length is 3 is there or not. If it is there, then return true. This what? Any match. Next, none match. Next is none match. Second, this one, add on top. All match. Next, none match. Delete this. Yeah. Now next, all match. So what is my checking all match condition is if all are having greater than 2. All are having length is of all names having greater than 2 or not. If all is having greater than 2, then it will return of true. If any one is not having less than 2 means that will return as false. Next, none match. None match. None match means what is doing? None of the conditions should satisfy. None of the elements should satisfy this condition. Names that length equal to 4. For any of the element in the list, the length is 4 is there or not. If it is there, it will return false. If it is there, it will return false. It should not satisfy any condition. If it is not satisfied, then only it will return. Then only it will return true. Next, out of that, I want to find first. Sort it and find first. It will return some optional object. Directly you can get also. That get also you can call it. Okay, but you can through optional. We are getting that value. Even directly single line also we can do, or we can do through optional also we can get it. Next it, find any. Find any means if you want to out of this data, I want to get up some random value, any value. If it is there, if it is empty, it will not give. If it is there, give some random value. Okay. Now let's see all these things. We'll see it. First one, what happened? Any match. Any match. What is the any match condition? If any one is equal to 3 means it is returning true. Any match is returning as true means anyone is having length 3. Yes. So there is one element RAM is having 3 characters. That is the reason it is returning true. Next. So all match. So all elements must should satisfy this condition. So name arrow means lambda expression named at length of greater than 2. So all conditions, all elements of names, all names in the collection should satisfy this condition, then only it will return true. It is giving all match also true. Let's say all having 5 should satisfy, then in this case it will not satisfy, it will return as false. So there are some names which contains only 3 letters and 4 letters. Some of the elements are not satisfying. Okay. Next, change it to 2 and then returning true. None match. None match means none of the elements should satisfy this condition. So, is there any name which contains length is 4? If it is there, it will return false. If it is there, it will return as false means already something, there is some element which 4. Yes, JI is with 4 letters. Let's say with 10. There is no elements which contains of 10 length. Now in this case, all are satisfied. It is true. Okay. Now after sorting the data, find first element. It is giving of Jaya. Okay. Next to find any, it is giving of Mahesh. It is giving of Mahesh. It can give of any name, so we can't give guarantee for that. Find any method will give always same result. Okay, there is no guarantee for that. That's what this one. Next, reduce function. Next is reduce function. What reduce function will do is normally to for normally for identifying of for doing of some redundant operations for doing of some redundant operations then we can use of reduce function instead of calling multiple times. Instead of doing of big logic, we can internally it will call of reduce function will do redundant calls. Okay, now parallel functions, guys. Now let's take off reduce function, what it will do. I'll go off reduce example. So I have taken off some numbers. I've taken off let's say take off some in between 50, some 60, 70, some values, take it. Okay, I want to take off sum of all these things. Just I want to sum of all these things. Then in this case we can use of we can do arrays. It is an integer, right? Integer array I'm taking, it's not a list. So convert this array to stream. So arrays dot stream of numbers, pass that array. Okay, it will return now stream. Now on top of that, called reduce. Okay, reduce, I want sum of all these numbers. The initial value is 0, this one, this is of initial value. Now I want to sum of all these numbers a comma b. Okay, this is a function, guys. This is a one accumulator function. It is a accumulator function. Okay, now what it is doing, it will sum of all these things. First it will take up 2 and then it will sum, like that all it will sum and then it will give off some value. Now this is taking off two things. One is with initial value with accumulator. Okay, with accumulator, or there is a method reference function also. There is a method reference function also. So this is of lambda expression. Now by using this also we can get this is of method reference integer colon colon, all are integer types, right? Integer colon colon of there is some method is there, it will sum of all the values. Okay, now and without only direct function also we can take it. This is for some guys. Okay, like let's say I want to find out of max of this value out of all, I want to find of max value, then reduce of integer colon colon max, get as int, all are integer types, right? Get as int method at the end you need to call it, it will give us that max value. Now or you can use of you can use of initial value with this ternary operator also we can call a comma b arrow lambda expression. A greater than b means a is big, colon else b is big one. Even through this also it can find of max value. See, by using reduce function with the two parameters, one is initial value with some accumulator function. Okay, and or else directly this method reference also we can get it. Okay, there are some overloaded methods of reduce. One is with directly binary operator function. Okay, other one is with two. One is with accumulator function and with some initial value. Int identity means initial value. Okay, this is of reduce function. Okay, now next next we'll discuss Joda API tomorrow, guys. Okay, today this is enough. So we'll discuss Joda API and some extra whatever that is. After that, we'll take off some real-time example also. One example with we have to do some practice also, guys. That we'll see tomorrow. Okay, there is some real-time example is there that we will verify of that tomorrow. Okay, that's what for today's class, guys. Just please practice and then come for if you have any doubts. Okay. Thank you, guys. We'll meet tomorrow.